Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Movement Radio. I'm Chip Hazard.
And I'm Roger Sierra.
And
Um, Go ahead, go ahead.
I was just say, and as you could tell, Talon's not with us tonight, but don't worry. Talon sent in some thoughts about our topic tonight. We'll cover that, but I'll let Roger tell you guys everything that we're going to talk about tonight. I think you guys are going to be really pleased with tonight's episode.
Well, I was actually going to say also that Talon wouldn't be able to join us, unfortunately, but we do have his thoughts and opinions. He did tell us not to roast him too much or crucify him.
Oh, he's
Um,
getting crucified right off the rip.
no, but today we are going to do the post Mania weekend. We're not going to do actual post Mania until a couple weeks so we can see everything develop. Um, we would be doing it this coming week, but we will be at the convention, so we may get to it. We may not because we're going to be tired, and we may not be able to see everything on Friday.
Right.
Um, but no, um, overall WrestleMania weekend thought it was really great. You do feel they said it all throughout the weekend. The new era, the Paul Levesque era, over and over and over again, saying it was a new era, new era, new era. They did a post conference for Manias, which were actually really good. They were doing it on commentary and everything, and you could tell building up to Mania from Rumble on. You could tell it's been Triple H's child, but it wasn't really noticeable, at least to me. It may have been, I mean, noticeable to people like how hard they've done away with so much of the restrictions and wording because they kept saying pro wrestler, they kept saying fans, but they also mentioned the other company.
Yes, that was the thing. So they mentioned Chris Jericho by
Yep.
name.
Yeah.
Uh,
Kevin Owens match when he did the code breaker.
yep. So there was a report that came out today by NoDQ.com that said that one of the internal uh, memos going
Memos.
around is that they're trying to do away with the word or the phrase sports entertainment and replacing that with the words professional wrestling, which I think they should do. Like,
Yeah.
yes, we know it's a sport and it's entertainment, but
They're
it
still professional wrestlers. Like,
yeah, it almost diminishes the fact that they are professional wrestlers.
see,
Um,
my stance with that is you can go either or, depending on how you view yourself and what your gimmick is.
mhm,
The more serious guys, I would consider myself a pro wrestler. I take it very serious. I'd consider you and Talon professional wrestlers. You guys take it really serious. But we know guys in this business, they don't take it as serious. They go out there and just want to have their fun. They don't work on their crafts, whatever. They're sports entertainers. They go out
right,
there, have their 5 to 15 minutes, get their handshake and a hot dog, gas money, go home, and that's it. They don't study. They don't ask questions afterwards. They don't try to develop or anything like that. Those are
right.
sports entertainers. Now at the WWE level, I would say there's still guys that are sports entertainers. Our Truth is a sports entertainer because that his gimmick is perfect for it. He is entertaining. That man is hilarious. Can he work? Hell yes, he can work. Dude's like 107 years old. He still can work. But then I would say Gunther is a professional wrestler. There is
Correct.
no frills, no gimmick, nothing. He just goes out there and works. And so at certain levels, yes, sports entertainment, man, like all of them at WWE level stuff, pro wrestlers, they're all pro wrestlers, they're all professionals, they know exactly what to do. Like, but then you go to the part where gimmicks become the differentiator, I think.
Hmm.
At a indie level or lower level, yeah, there you can tell who is a professional wrestler, who's a sports entertainer. But that's just my opinion on that. On the,
Uh,
I don't know if you watch, did you watch the Slammies? I was going to ask you
uh,
this. I forgot to ask you the other day.
no, I did not watch the Slammies.
So CM Punk won 2 awards back to back. He won the OMG moment, and then right after that, he won the Return of the Year. Um, he kept the
Okay.
OMG moment, and after the OMG moment, he's talking about how he was a professional wrestler that loves wrestling, and he said if this was during a different time, he would been in trouble for saying professional wrestler and not sports entertainer. But that's what he is as a professional wrestler, and he just kept saying it over and over again. I'm like, okay, I was like, I can see that there's a shift. There's no issues. There's no. They were allowed to do a lot more, allowed to say a lot more, speak more freely with their opinions and everything during press conferences, during matches and everything like that. Just overall, it felt more. I'm not going to say it was fully relaxed, but it was more. It was loose, more loose than it has been.
Yeah. And the other thing I wanted to touch on real quick, with the report coming out that they're trying to do away with the term sports entertainment and bring back the term professional wrestling, professional
Mhm.
wrestler, etc. The other big report that I read today, Sports Illustrated, a very reputable source, is reporting that Nick Khan wants to explore working with other wrestling companies, AEW included.
Yeah, but we know Tony Khan's going to be the issue there.
Right. But I think that so there's part of that shift. We've known for years that Triple H has wanted to work with other companies,
Hmm.
uh, i.e., AAA, New Japan, and TNA,
All
formerly,
Japan.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, and TNA, formerly known as Impact.
Yep.
Um, but also including like AEW, possibly MLW, or whatnot. I mean, we just seen over Mania weekend they let Shayna Baszler work a match at GCW, uh,
Yeah.
which I have heard was an amazing match. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it, but people that I know that were at that show said that it was really good and it really showcased what Shayna can do.
Because I mean, well, Josh Burnett was her trainer, so he's obviously gonna pretty
Yeah.
much do what he's got to do to make her look like $1 million. But Masha Slamovich is also the one. But speaking of which, I also saw this weird thing called um crap. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was like pure championship fighting or something like that. And it had uh Shafira versus Masha Slamovich.
Mm. I did see that.
And I
I
was like,
didn't see the
when
match, but
I didn't either, but I was like, what is this? But it looks like they were both in MMA outfits, but in a wrestling ring. So I'm like, okay, that's
yeah.
new. I gotta check that out. Almost forgot about it. But um, let's move on to the first event of the weekend, which was well technically SmackDown, but or in the Hall of Fame. But we'll go to no Hall of Fame was second. No, Hall of Fame was first. Never mind, it was right after SmackDown.
Hmm.
But we're gonna go to the first working event, which was Stand and Deliver. Um, from top to bottom, Stand and Deliver for the most part did that. There were some hiccups here or some less than stellar moments for me. But I watched the pre-show. Did you watch the pre-show?
I did not watch the pre-show. I missed the Shawn Spears Joe Gacy match, but I
Pretty good
heard
match
that it
overall.
was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match between those guys for them sort of setting us up within like a week and a half,
Right.
sort of kind of thing. But to the main card, you called this one down the middle or straight to the point. From the challengers to the way it would end, you called Axiom and Ben or Nathan Frazier winning, but Corbin and Breaker still retaining. And this match was really, really good, but there was a lot of botches sprinkled in throughout. Everybody was moving too fast.
I felt like watching this match, I felt like Corbin and Breaker were trying to keep up with A Kid and Ben,
Hmm.
and not slowing the pace down to their style when they were in control.
Yeah,
Um,
which is
I
such a
mean,
weird thing because Corbin knows how to do that. Like he's been in it so long.
right. Well, and he's wrestled a lot of guys, maybe not as fast as A Kid and Ben, or I'm sorry, Axiom and Nathan Frazier. I still
Yeah,
I
I
can't
mean,
get out of.
well, Nathan, I mean, we Ben is Ben. Like
Yeah.
we knew the kid before he literally was in my town playing soccer for the college and decided to do wrestling. Like,
Right.
where were we at WWE when we were doing a documentary? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
We knew this kid
Uh,
before he was anybody.
I was booking him on some of his first independent wrestling shows.
Yeah. Before he went to Seth Rollins school, he was learning out here in Southeast Tennessee.
Yes, he sure was. But that ain't in nobody's documentary.
Nah, ain't nobody documentary, man. Fuck it.
Um, but yeah, if I have one critique about Ben and A Kid is that they don't know how or haven't put it all together on how to slow the pace down of a match. It's a million miles an hour for both of them. I mean, how
Mhm.
many times have you or I watched a Nathan Frazier match and he's hitting the rope so quick he almost decapitates himself because he's just moving that fast.
Yeah.
You know,
Um,
I know we've sent uh back and forth a couple of times.
no, for sure. That's always gonna be my thing. Like, it's great to showcase your speed, and it's great and all, like how fast they are, what they can do with that speed, and how they're able to control their bodies through all that. But when you're running the ropes, to just run the ropes, you don't need to be doing that.
Right.
Like Braun Breaker learned that a few weeks ago when he almost hung himself on the road. But if you notice this
Yes.
time around, he slowed his pace down a little bit too when he was running the ropes because he's like,
Hmm.
I don't want to do that again.
I don't want to die today.
Yeah. Um, Overall, really good match. Um, on Wikipedia, it says it only went 11 minutes 22 seconds. I don't think it went that long, in my opinion.
I didn't think it went. I mean, does that include entrances?
No, no, 11 minutes 22 because everything else seems to be around the time that I felt like it was the time.
Right.
Um, but no, it was 11 minutes 22 seconds, and Corbin and Breaker retain. Um, Really neat spot. Nathan Frazier was countered out of the end of days and right into a spear. Braun Breaker and Corbin have really gotten that timing down for that combination
They really
um,
have.
really well. Some great spots overall by everybody. Some scary spots. I always hate when people do Spanish flies. Always do. On the turnbuckle on up top. Just if you do it on the ground, fine, cool, whatever. But up top sucks.
Yeah.
Corbin even came off the top rope. uh, no, I mean, he had to pull out the stops. Axiom and Nathan Frazier have had a couple matches against Corbin and Breaker. So is that, I got to pull out the next thing out so I can get the victory, whatever kind of thing. Um, but no, overall, it was a great showing for Axiom and Ben or Nathan Frazier so they could still seem like a strong team overall.
Hmm.
Um, they almost had the pin on Corbin at one point. They had canned out Breaker with something. I can't remember what it was. Oh, Nathan Frazier was in front of the stairs. A Kid pulled him out of the way. Braun went straight to the stairs head first. They go in, they do a double team on Corbin. They get him down with a few spots here and there. They do some high spots, do some splashes, some stuff. I think Ben even did the Phoenix Splash. No, he did the
I,
450 on that one.
no,
Um,
that's right. That was the 450.
and then Grass going for the 1, 2. I really thought it was gonna be it because like, oh, Breaker's out. Corbin just took all his moves. I was like, oh crap. And then Breaker comes in at the last second. Boom. I was like, okay, keep it going. But no, overall, good match. I give it a 4 star on this one.
I was thinking between three and a quarter and four, because I really did enjoy it. But like you said earlier, there was a lot of mishaps and botches that kind of took away from it a little bit. So I'm in that like three and a quarter,
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
3 3/4, 4 star, like right there on that verge
I
of
get you.
it. Um, and then of course Talon gave it 3.75 stars. So
I probably should pull up his ratings real quick too, so I can see this. Let me scroll up a little bit. All right, there we go. So the next one, um, might be the best match of the weekend, to be honest. Um,
It's up
it's
there
up
for
there,
sure.
yeah. Obafemi, Dijak, and Josh Briggs. Um, it says it went 15 minutes even, so that's how I know they're not counting entrances and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, but no, this was a triple threat for the North American Championship. It was a house battle. It was the tone setter for Obafemi, who that man could take some punishment. That
Boy,
man
can
took
he not?
punishment. Um, Dijak and Briggs started out the match the smart way within the alliance, beating the crap out of Obafemi, trying to get him down.
Hmm.
Super resiliency here, there, but they finally get him down and they start beating the crap out of each other. And when I talk about beating the crap out of each other, they started beating the crap out of each other. These
Yes.
boys laid lumber down the whole match. Didn't matter who he was. Obafemi, hey, welcome to the big leagues, boy, because it's how gonna be. They were
Hey,
laying in every single move.
they was building houses
Yes, they
without
were.
with how much lumber they was laying.
But no, like they was. There was one point where Briggs did a big boot to Dijak all in the face, direct, no
I was
nothing,
like,
just
I seen that and I was like, how is that man not missing like all his fronts?
like it was bad. And then Obafemi came in and he did it to him too. I was like, dang, he's like anybody can get it.
Yep.
Um, but they kept talking about how this is like Obafemi's like ninth match or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, and there was a couple of moments during the match. There was one part I remember in particular. Josh Briggs had a hold of Obafemi. I think he was chopping him and then he grabbed him by like the neck or something like that. And you can see him mouthing the spot to Obafemi what to
Hmm.
do. And I was like, ah, I know it's not his fault. It's something you learn on the indies a lot. And I mean, in wrestling in general, they teach you to, but this man was doing a manuscript. He wasn't doing short words. He was saying how,
Right.
like, it was a whole thing. Like, like, quick, how and then there was also a moment where, um, Dijak was over the top of Josh Briggs and he was beating the crap out of him. And then you can hear Dijak say, boot me. And then he goes back in, gets the boot to the face. I'm like, boys, come on.
Yeah.
Uh,
Also, you have to blame the camera guy a little bit on that.
for being
Like,
right in there.
yeah, yeah. Like, I know we like those up close and personal shots, but like, maybe to pan out a little bit so you don't get that audio or
Hmm.
something.
But no, this match they took out all the stops, put Oba and Femi through a table. They beat the crap out of each other outside of the ring. They broke the barricade. That barricade must be made out of like plywood because everybody went through it the whole weekend.
The whole
Um,
weekend.
the whole weekend. Um, there was a spot where I thought Dijak was really gonna win it. He hit Josh Briggs with three feast your eyes.
Hmm.
Um, or two. Sorry, it was two. He hit one on the outside, threw him in. No, it was three. It was three. Then he did one. Briggs kicked out, rough him up a little bit, pick him up again, did the feature eyes again. He's
And
laying
that's when
there. Yeah,
Ova broke that up. Yeah.
yeah, and he's going for the pin. One, two. And out of nowhere, you see Obafemi's hand just grabbed Dijak by the throat, which technically is a pin breakup, but he didn't actually get him off, so the ref should have still counted three, in my
Right.
opinion. But Obafemi literally goes, and you'll all hear him. He says, "You stupid idiot." I'm like, okay, we get some charisma out of him. He's like, "You will never win. This is mine." Blah blah blah. He picks him up, and then he does what is it? He's
Uh
just a pop up
yeah,
power bomb.
yeah, he shot him up into that pop-up power bomb onto Josh Briggs.
Yeah,
Uh
which yet again, bro, like, why? Get me out of this.
the other spot, it happened earlier in the match that I thought was really good is you had Dijak going to give Josh Briggs a Death Valley driver
Oh,
and
that
off the
spot scared
top.
me so much.
Yes, off the top. and then Obafemi comes in and like scoops him up on his shoulders, and then they do what
It's
most
electric
professional wrestlers,
chair, but
yeah, professional wrestlers call it a big top drop, but they did a variation of it, and
yeah,
I thought it scared me, but I thought it was really cool.
yeah. But the only thing is that the sucked is that Dijak had to be dropped on his side, like to do the Death Valley Driver
Hmm.
correctly. But no, this was an amazing match. This is a good old classic Hoss battle. You see three big dudes just out there, big medium man, as Big E calls them, just beating the crap out of each other, laying in the lumber. Obafemi was protected really well. They took him out a lot, let him get his shine here and there, but then they would take him out again. So he wouldn't do too much to expose himself, and they correctly did the moves they were supposed to do to showcase what he could do.
Yes.
But it was mainly Dijak and Briggs beating the crap at each other, which I can't complain about. It's a good match overall.
Yeah.
Um,
I definitely. This may have been my favorite match. This was definitely my favorite match of Stand and Deliver.
yeah, for sure.
Um, and it was definitely the best triple threat match of the entire weekend. And we'll talk about that when we get to night two, because
E-
I have some stuff about that match. Uh,
but I give this a 4.5.
I was gonna give it a 4.75.
There's just too many of the small stuff like the spot calling, being seen and stuff. Just always takes me out of wrestling for a second. I'm like, ah, crap, forgets.
Yes, and I get that completely. But I don't think that was the wrestler's fault. That was more camera work for me. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, no, I
so
get you.
as a Hoss style match, uh, you know what? 4.5 is there.
Yeah,
I'll knock it down to 4.5 instead of 4 3/4.
yeah. I don't know if there was any match that got close enough to a 5, in my opinion, being perfect. But this is
Mm,
one of them that's up there, highly up there.
yeah.
Um, Going through, maybe I might change my mind. Looking at the whole weekend events and stuff like that. But no, 4.5 right now. Definitely my favorite match of Stand and Deliver easily.
Yeah.
Um, which is saying a lot because this card had two other matches on there that should have been to that level or better, in my
Hmm.
opinion. Um,
Can we just skip the next match altogether?
we got to firstly talk about. That's what I'm saying. Like,
God.
there's. But Talon also gave this a 4.5. Yeah, and he also said it
Yeah.
was also his favorite match of Stand and Deliver. Um, The next match was the drizzle shits bull crap. Sorry, I should watch my language. This is definitely the piss break, bathroom break, merch sale break, text message break, whatever you want to call it. It was horrendous. You have six women, and it's not because it was a women's match, but you
No,
have
no,
six
no, no.
women. You have six women, and only one of them can wrestle. So this what we're talking about is Fallon Henley. I'm glad I have this pulled up because I would not remember anybody's name. Kal-
I remember
Kalani,
Jason James in it.
yeah, Kalani Jordan, Thea Hill versus Izzy Dame, which definitely doesn't sound like a name for anybody at all.
Mm-mm.
JC Jane and Kiana James, um, with Jasmine Nix on the outside. I don't even was there who was I don't even know there was another person. But
There was. I remember seeing her in the entrance. She had her arm in a sling, but I don't remember anything else about her.
Okay. This match went 11 minutes 41 seconds. That's 6 minutes too much. And you could feel it. It was
Yeah,
bad. There was
it
a
really was.
lot of botches, a lot of missed spots just in general from being bad timing or just not being able to do moves. Um, I guess the big story from what I gathered from watching while I was watching it, Fallon Henley and JC Jane had a big old breakup from Chase University. Um, Daisy Jane went heel again. That's the story I got before I just
Eh,
checked out.
yeah, but then why are all these other people thrown into this match? For what reason? There was a lot of that this weekend, and we'll get to that, where there was people interjected in matches that they didn't need to be interjected in, and I'm like,
No,
what the hell is going on?
there's just matches that shouldn't have been matches. Like,
Like
yeah, I
this
get
one?
it. Yes, I get it. It's WrestleMania weekend. You want to showcase everybody, and everybody has worked all year to get their spot and everything like that. But there are shows throughout the week before Mania. Maybe showcase your spot there because this should not have been on that. This
I
card should have
f-
been
I
six
feel like,
matches.
yeah, I feel like this match would have been better had it just been Fallon Henley and JC Jane.
This women's six tag whatever thing should have been the pre-show, and Gacy and Sean Spears should have been on the main card.
Well, I said that when they announced it. And it's not that nothing against women, because I thought the next match was really good. The
For
women's title match.
Yeah, for this, I'm not. There's not much more to talk about this.
Uh-uh.
I give this a 1 star.
It had some bright spots. I'll give it 2 stars.
I give it 1 star because JC Jane's in it. That's about it.
Uh, okay. I mean,
That's about it. That's about it. That's all I can say about this.
I I can't hate you for your opinion.
Yeah, there was bright spots, but it was so sloppy, like bad,
I
like
felt like all the bright spots involved JC
JC
Jane
Jane.
and
Yeah,
or Fallon Henley.
yeah, maybe if it would have been a 1-on-1, it probably would still have been a little bit sloppy because Fallon Henley's still new-ish, I guess. I don't know who she is at all.
New-ish, yeah.
Um, but she has some cool moves. She does some cool stuff, but
Yeah.
the other people should just not have been there or be a lumberjill match, whatever they want to call the women's version of it. Like, I don't know. I did not appreciate it. It was just a waste of my time. Talon gave it 2.75. Oof. Talon,
Bro.
you don't have to sway your opinion because you don't want to get called a sexist or anything like that, bro. It's okay to give people 1 star matches.
Yeah. Um are you giving them the extra like 0.75 stars because they were half naked? Uh, I mean,
Because
I don't know.
here's the thing, on a scale of 1 to 5, that means 3 is the standard. This is just barely below the standard.
I mean, again, like I said, the good stuff involved JC Jane and Fallon Henley. Everything else, like, and I get it, the other girls are newer, but they have NXT uh to be able to, or what, there's NXT, there's
Level up.
Level Up,
I
you
think that's the
know.
2 for it now.
Well, I think they still have Main Event, don't they?
I
The
don't know. I don't think they do anymore.
uh but yeah, you
Yeah.
put those people, whether it be the women or the men, on those shows to get the experience that they need before you put them on the WrestleMania card.
Yeah, like
uh
WrestleMania weekend card should be essentially 4 stars and up matches almost the whole way through.
yeah.
Like if you're not up to that caliber of putting on a showed a match that could have stolen the show, don't need to be on the card. Yeah. May not be your year this year. Next year we'll give it a see. We'll see how you develop throughout the year. See what
Hmm.
kind of storyline we can make for you. See what we can do. Put you up there. You know what I'm saying? But this one, man, I don't know who. I get it. We got to showcase the women. Nothing against that. We've talked about it before. Um,
I love women's wrestling if it's good.
good. Yeah. I mean, this is just general. Like I like wrestling if it's good. Like there's men I don't watch wrestle because I don't think they're good wrestlers. Like I don't think
Right.
they're wrestling. So
uh but like, Also, I'm not the kind of person that watches women's wrestling because, oh, there might be a wardrobe malfunction or her ass is hanging half out. No, give me good quality women's wrestling. It let me rephrase that. Give me good quality wrestling.
Wrestling. Yep.
Whether there's a female or a male in the ring, give me good quality wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want.
Facts. We'll move on from this flat tire of a match to the next women's match, which was for the women's title. Roxanne Perez versus Lyra Valkyrie. It went 16 minutes, and boy, that I could feel it. I got after 10 minutes, I was like, this should have ended. Not because it was women wrestling or anything like that. They weren't telling the story much anymore. They
Mm-mm.
just were wrestling at that point. They were just doing moves to do moves. Certain matches don't have to be 15, 25, 30 minutes long. You can tell a story in less than that and still make it captivating and well. This one right here just floundered for me. I knew Roxanne was going to win. There was no doubt for me on that one.
We
Uh,
called that.
yeah, there was no doubt because she has. I mean, she, we called her and crap. Her and Cora Jade are the one and two of the women's division down there
Right now,
now.
yeah.
Yeah. Watching this match, I've been watching wrestling more frequently to get accustomed to more of the NXT people and how they work and everything. Because there for a while it was hard to watch them. Um, but no, he's still watching this. I was like, man, Lyle Valkyria is not at that level to be the champion. She, I don't know what it was, but I just felt like she just felt out of place in this match. Like you could tell she's not at Roxanne's level. Like Roxanne had to slow down or drag her through some stuff. And some of Lyra's moves, that's just like, like I guess you could do moves like that, but I just didn't like I said, I don't think she had to be the fill-in champion because Poor Jade and Roxanne were both hurt at the same time. They brought Becky down there, and Becky's like, I'm going to give it to my protege, which is nepotism, which is stupid. Um,
Yep.
you couldn't give it to Tiffany Stratton because they were moving her up already. Um,
Well, she took it from Tiffany, so
yeah, which at
uh
that point I don't understand why. But no, this match, I want to make this the standard. I'm going to give this a 3 star. It was a
yeah,
standard.
that's what I was gonna say. It was right in the middle, 3 star. It it might have gotten more for me had the match been shorter because
Yeah.
the first 8 to 10 minutes of the match was really good.
Hmm.
But once they finished telling their story and just started doing moves to do moves, it was like, man, this is not good at all. What's
No,
going on?
and that's with anybody. Like we said before, we like women's wrestling. We like wrestling in general, doesn't matter male, female, whatever.
Yep.
But at a certain point, the whole point about wrestling is to tell a story, to give you emotions, to like somebody, hate somebody, to feel for, or relate somebody, or something, while also understanding they're suffering through these moves. When you get the story element out of it, you're just seeing two people do things just to do. Like you're seeing a silent film and not even a good one. Like you could like if this could have been two dudes doing it, which we'll get to here in a second. I felt the same about another match.
Yep.
Um,
I know which one you're talking about.
but no, I get this one a 3 overall. Tell I give it a 3.75. Um, can't hate him for that. I understand. Well,
Yeah.
no, yeah, 3.75. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I give it a standard. Like this was the best women's match of the show, obviously, and the other one was so abysmal. Like I don't know, like if Roxanne and Valkyria would have gone 13 minutes, probably it would have been good enough. Like
Yeah.
it probably would have been 4.5 stars. It would have went that, but the extra 4 minutes of nothing of just airtime, oof. Um,
Yeah.
So next up, we have the semi-main or the co-main, depending on who you talk to and how they see stuff. We
Right.
have we have the Czar Ilya Dragunov versus the Don Tony D'Angelo with his whole family of horrendous name people. Um, Adriano Rizzo, which Rizzo's not even ain't no Italian ever named Rizzo except the baseball
Nope.
player. Um, because they called her actual Rizzo and not Hizzo like the actual baseball player is called.
Right.
Uh, then you have Channing Stacks. What I still don't get that dude's semi nickname Stacks Lorenzo. Like, what's he stacking?
Next.
Uh, and then a dude I never heard before. And when I was watching this vignette, they started showing him and talking about him. But Luca Crucifino ain't no Italian ever. I've watched enough Italian soccer in my life. I ain't never heard of no Crucifino in Italy. Nowhere. Not on a single jersey, not for the A League, the B League, the C League. Nowhere have I ever heard that. And I was like, we just
Where?
don't care anymore.
Well, here's the thing. Where did this dude come from?
I don't know.
I don't remember him being in the build up to or anything like that.
He
Did they
is the consigliere of the family.
really?
That's what he says.
I just don't remember. I
His
don't
gimmick
remember
before he did
seeing him.
this. So he was signed in 2022. He did a tryout, blah, blah, blah. 2023. He made his debut on March 3rd, 2023, on an episode of NXT Level Up, where his gimmick at that time was a lawyer. And the
Okay.
thing is, they don't even. Uh, he appeared on April 4th on NXT in a promo to Ivy Now, offering his services and business cards to her and the fans. Um, he made his own website called Cristofino Law. So he's a is his gimmick a lawyer?
I guess maybe. I don't know.
Oh, they are still doing main event. You're right.
Hmm.
Uh, um, so he joined the family after a February 27th showing on NXT. He faced Dijak in a losing effort. Cristofino would hit Dijak with his own crowbar, which would set up Joe Gacy to attack him, turning face in the process for the first time in his WWE career. So with Joe Gacy turning face, okay. Then Cristofino would then slip Dijak's crowbar behind the steel steps. And impressed by Cristofino's match, Tony D'Angelo told Stax Lorenzo to remember that and go get him. And then at Roadblock, D'Angelo welcomed Cristofino as the new consigliere of the D'Angelo family staple.
Okay.
But this dude's literally done nothing but lose matches. Like, I don't even know, but whatever. We'll get to the match. I expected more of an epic entrance from Dragunov. Um,
I did.
oh, also, we should say that the story of this match was that prior to Stand and Deliver, Dragunov had suffered an injury to his hand by thanks to Stax Lorenzo, um, and they would be targeted over and over and over again. And then the big story is could Dragunov do his moves with his hand injured? And I'm like, yes, hand injuries are such a stupid thing in wrestling.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, the only thing that it works is if it's like a choke slam,
yeah,
because you can't.
you can't grip and hold up and everything, but
Yeah.
Dragunov's moves is literally throw my body at you or drop an elbow on you.
Right.
So it was dumb, but um, unfortunately, I felt this match went long. It felt the same, like I did with the Roxanne and Valkyria match. Should have been 12 minutes, maybe 12, 13 minutes. It went 17 minutes. It went way too long. They kept
This, uh,
doing the stupid hand gimmick over and over again.
yeah, this may be the worst Ilya Dragunov match I've seen.
Ever seen for sure.
I'm trying to think if there's another one that was worse than this one, but I can't remember a match, an Ilya Dragunov match that was worse than this one.
Mm-mm. No, it was dumb. Um, it just felt so drawn out, and they just kept the hand gimmick was stupid. Like, also Tony D'Angelo went babyface during the match
Yeah, I don't.
because Stacks Wenzel was going to give Tony D'Angelo brass knuckles, and Tony D'Angelo's like, "No, I'm doing this the right way. Stop it! Don't interfere. Let me do this on my own." Tell your people to leave ringside.
Right? Like I there was a lot in this match that I didn't get. Like we kept doing the stupid hand thing. Like I get you're selling the injury, but like he would just make these stupid hand like
Yeah,
my
like
hand. Like
if they wanted to sell us on Dragunov's arsenal being diminished, do a shoulder injury.
right?
Because when you go through, because he wouldn't be able to lift his arm to throw the H bomb right, or if he went for the Moscow miss or the Moscow torpedo, he could have hit his arm, or Jones the other could have moved and he hit his shoulder on something. But the hand was so stupid.
Right.
Like
Just didn't make sense to me.
like if maybe he was wrestling Pete Dunne, yeah, that would have made sense. But I don't know, like the hand gig I didn't like. The match, in my opinion, went too far. Tony D'Angelo randomly went babyface during the match. The crowd was not really fully into it either.
Nope.
This was like the first match, well, that women's match, but this was the first match that I was like, I don't really hear the crowd. That's weird.
Yeah.
Um, but no, this match went way too long. Dragunov still won by pinfall. He still hit his H bomb 3 times.
Yeah.
So it did not matter whether his hand hurt or not. Um, no, I feel like this one should have gone 12 minutes. Um, I also give this one just a 3 star. It was just
I,
that right in the middle. It was just average.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Like average. Just again, you cut down to 10 to 12 minutes with this match. I might have been able to give it a higher star rating, but once you started dragging it out for no apparent reason, the stars start to diminish.
Yeah. Um, Talon also gave this one with a 3.75. I don't understand Talon's rankings at all whatsoever because he put this match on the same level as Corbin and Breaker versus Axiom and Ben.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Um,
Well, didn't he also give Lyra and
Valkyrie and Roxanne the same, yeah,
yeah,
3.75. So yeah, I don't
yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't know.
Um,
He'll have to explain himself next week.
yes. But we have the main event. They kept hyping this as the most important match in NXT history, which oof, like y'all do
Yeah,
realize you had to compete with the trilogy of Champa and Gargano and Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, right? Like
yeah,
I think that Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole might have been the most important match in NXT history, still to this day. Um, Champa and Gargano set up the plans; they were the foundations for a while. But the breakup of the Undisputed Era, the greatest faction,
in
probably,
NXT.
yeah, in NXT history and up there with WWE faction in histories too.
Yes.
Like, yeah, okay, you want to try and say that Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes is on that level? I mean, yeah, we built it up for a few months, but they have 2 years of history together.
I would
But
say it's probably the most important match of the last
of
2 years,
NXT 2.0.
yeah, of the Shawn Michaels era of NXT.
But I can't even say that because Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes, I think, was more important
Oh,
because Carmelo taking down Breaker.
yeah.
Like,
No, you're right.
I don't like that they put the weight of this match at that level. Um, so for a couple years now, there's something I've always said about Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. They're great together. When you break them apart, it's going to be hard to do. They almost proved me wrong, but I said that Carmelo's weakness is his promo ability and his charisma. Dude's a freak of nature, can wrestle. Cool. I get it. Dude can't really talk well. His heel work's not been that great leading up to his match. But Trick Williams' weakness is fundamental wrestling. Um,
Yes.
just being able to do good holds and understanding the flow and everything like that, which I understand. Wrestling's hard to understand, pick up, especially within 1 or 2 years.
Right.
Um, so far as he gotten, he's really well. Depends on who he wrestles with, really gets to shine. But they actually alluded to that during this match is that they said that Trick Williams is a street fighter. He's not a technical guy, so he's not good in the ring. They literally said he's better outside the ring than he is in the ring. And I'm like, why would you expose this man like this on commentary?
Right. I didn't understand that. And to go back to what you were saying just a minute ago, Trick and Carmelo, they complement each other uh in what one lacks the other has. Uh like like you were saying, the thing that Carmelo is lacking is like true mic skills.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think Trick Williams has better mic skills.
Easily. He has way
Um,
better. He has just a regular, normal aura around him.
right. But what Trick lacks in wrestling fundamentals, Carmelo has a plethora of it.
Hmm.
So they do complement each other when they're together. Um, and I do want them to both succeed separately, but sometimes that does not work. So sometimes people are destined to be tag team wrestlers.
So my thing with Trick is that he's still green. So that means
Yes,
he'll develop that, and with his natural charisma and looks already, he'll he's gonna be easily more successful because Carmelo's been doing this for a while. And yeah, indie wrestling, you could be indie wrestling charisma and TV charisma is completely different. Two
right,
different monsters. Because in the indies, you can do whatever you want, say whatever you want, and get it over, and it be people will ironically get a hold of it and like it, and it blows up and stuff like that. But it doesn't always translate well. I.e., AEW's first 2 years of existence, because they had a lot of guys that were great gimmicks in the indies,
right.
but when they had to be on TV, guess what? Nobody gave a shit. You had
Facts.
Marco
Big,
Stunt.
big facts, right? Um,
Everybody loved him on the Indies for some reason. I don't know why. That dude was garbage to begin with.
uh,
Uh,
hey, you better watch out. They they cancel people for talking shit about Marco Stunt.
I don't care. Fight me. I'll
But
break.
here's the
I'll break
thing.
both the legs again.
Here's my thing, not to take away from what we're talking about, WrestleMania or anything, but since you brought up Marco Stunt, what has he done since getting let go by AEW? Have you heard anything from him?
He went to GCW and then disappeared.
Exactly.
Just, like literally, the thing he was known for was doing a move stupidly and broke both his legs at one time.
Yep.
So yeah.
I
But
mean,
going back, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm shocked that Darby Allin got over like he did with the TV crowd.
My thing is Darby is like I get it. I understand. Like I actually like his gimmick, but he has a presence and aura. Like his gimmick is himself.
Right.
So he he doesn't need to do anything besides wrestle and put his body on the line, but he lives his gimmick. Marvel Stunt, what was his gimmick?
He was a little dude.
Congrats, indie wrestler. Congratulations, you're an indie wrestler.
I mean, but like I think his gimmick was that he was super small. But then you look at guys like Hornswoggle, who is not much shorter than Marco Stunt, and like Hornswoggle can actually go out there and work. Like I've
Yeah,
seen it.
yeah.
So
Uh,
anyway, I'm sorry. Back to Trick
but
and Mello.
Trick and Mello, it essentially was a no DQ match because Ava Rain, the current GM, put a stipulation that there had to be a winner. There had to be a decisive winner, no countouts, essentially no, I guess no DQ, I guess was also implied with that. Um, so the match starts with Carmelo Hayes getting the best of Trick Williams with Matt wrestling and just being disrespectful, doing the jump over and the kick of like just kicking dirt in his face kind of thing, um, slapping the back of the head, blah blah blah, doing all this. But then at one point, Trick gets the upper hand, and they go outside. And once they go outside, that's when Trick's in his element because he can just throw punches and stuff like he couldn't to begin with in the ring since it's no DQ match.
Right.
Um, but they fight into the crowd. They go through the crowd for a little bit. I was just like, okay, come on, bring it back. They start bringing it back closer. Carmelo gets the upper hand at one point, and I guess the gentleman was Trick's father. I don't know if they implied that, if they said that yes or no, but there was a gentleman that they got right next to. They started talking jaw jacking with, and I think they said it was either his father or cousin or something like that. Trick, not Carmelo, but they start doing the thing, and then they kind of start coming back to the ring, and Carmelo gets into the ring and literally says to Trick is like, I want you in the ring. This is my element, not your element. So yet again, just exposing Trick without. I don't know if they did it with intention or not. They probably didn't really think about it, making it sound like Trick can't work regular wrestling. Um, they do their spots. They go through. They know each other pretty well, so there's just move back and forth. Telling a really good story of Carmelo being a better in-ring worker, but with Strick being bigger and stronger, he's able to get the upper hand when he needs to, start getting momentum back here and there. Um, and then the finish was kind of weird. I wouldn't say like sloppy or anything. It was kind of weird. Um, Carmelo's running the ropes. Trick goes for his goes for the Booker T crescent kick, misses, hits the rope almost immediately, like he knew he was going to miss, and then goes and does the trick shot knee and wins the match. And I was like, this was kind of a flat finish for such a big match.
It really was. I get what they were trying to do, kind of an out of nowhere thing, but it just didn't. I don't know. To me, it didn't resonate well.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know. I still like the match. It was entertaining. The whole story all the way through. The fighting the crowd thing. You're in Philly. You're not gonna get the Philly crowd. They want to feel like they're part of the action, whatever. I understand
Right.
that. Um, NXT sold out the Wells Fargo Arena, which, for you guys that don't know, that's the Philadelphia 76ers and the Philadelphia Flyers arena. So it's a pretty big arena. There's 12,000 people or something like that. They said 12,400 something.
Something like that.
Um, which the 76ers don't get that many people in there when they're in the playoffs.
No.
So, but no, overall, really good match. I feel because it didn't even go 20 minutes, which was weird to me. Um, I don't
Yeah,
know.
for the build up, I mean, because this was a few month long build up, because it all
Mhm.
started.
Well, at least like a year longish kind of build up from last Stand and Deliver when Carmelo beat Braun for the title and
Yeah,
then stuff like that. But yeah, it was just I don't know. I feel like one, it should have been a little bit longer, and they could have told a story and maybe gotten a better way to work into the finish.
but I also think adding the stipulation to it hurt the
Heard it,
match.
yep, because they weren't just the story should have been Carmelo's the better in-ring worker, and he's going to outshine Trick, and then Trick has to find a way to get advantage, and that advantage is sort of fighting dirty, not illegal, like not eye pokes and eye gouges and stuff like that, but getting rough and tough, getting punches here and there instead of open hand slaps and referee, hey, gotta slow it down. And then getting the move on to Carmelo. Carmelo finds a way out. He's gonna do something. He gets cut off by another like big hit from a punch or a kick or something.
Hmm.
Grind it down, stuff like that. And he's just getting Carmelo's just getting abused physically, getting beat up. He may be better in the mat sense, but he still can't physically compete with Trick because Trick Williams, tall guy and muscular, Carmelo short guy who is also muscular, but you have the perception of the tall muscular dude to the short dude.
Yeah.
Just play
If you
off of
put
that.
them, it this I know that it's not, but if you put them side by side, Carmelo almost looks like half of a human compared to Trick. And
Yeah,
I mean, I know
and
they're very similar in, like, if Carmelo was taller, they'd probably be the
be the
same
same.
size.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and their weight difference isn't a whole lot.
Mm-mm.
But just visually looking, it's like he's half the man.
Yeah. And the whole you could have played into it with Carmelo not being able to do a lot of bigger moves on Trick just because of the size difference. Um, I don't know. It's just
They
they
could,
could have played around with it different ways, in
yeah,
my opinion.
they could have taken a whole lot if they would have went back and watched some old Rock and Roll Express matches and watch Ricky Morton. Ricky Morton never lifted anybody up.
They
He
have to.
used their well, he used their momentum against them.
Hmm.
And I feel like Carmelo could have done that to do the stuff. Like you never seen Ricky Morton body slam anybody,
No, they have to. Yeah,
but
they have to.
he was always the smaller guy
Yeah.
in the match, you know. So I think a lot of that kind of stuff is lost in translation to today's wrestling. Uh, you know, but I digress. Damn, it got
No.
dark over there.
Yeah. No. I switched over the page, and there we go.
I was like, damn.
um, but no. Overall, Stand and Deliver. I'll give it a.
What about the Trick Miller match?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'll give them a 4.25. Um, just the whole build-up story, and just the way the guys worked together, everything like that was great and all. Like I said, there could have been two or three tweaks overall that could have just made this match probably the five-star match of the weekend to me.
Yeah,
Um, because these guys have invested a lot of time and they did it the right way with a slow build up. Yeah, we knew Mello was the one that attacked Trick in the hallway or whatever it was again, blah, blah, blah. We
yeah,
know all that. We all know that. But no, it was just they were doing stuff even outside because even at Wale Mania the day before, they got into a little promo battle and everything like that. They were trying to make it more realistic, more like just the more build up, make it more natural and stuff. But like I said, the finish was sort of flat. It wasn't sloppy or anything. It was kind of weird to me. It was flat. Um, like I said, they didn't spend too much time outside, which was fine. They were trying to tell a story and just get stuff going overall. I liked it all. I still think that the triple threat match was probably the best match, well, definitely the best match of the show.
hmm
Um, what do you rank the match first?
I was leaning towards four, like just an even 4 stars. There was certain things about it that took me out of it, like the finish falling flat,
Mm,
the fact that they kept harping on this, like Trick's better outside the ring, Mello's better inside the ring. Like you're literally like degrading these guys. Like you're telling everybody what their flaws are.
hmm.
Uh and these are the things that they do need to work on.
Yeah.
So it just I for me it was a 4 star match. And I'll probably get crucified for saying that, but It's just my opinion. I think it was 4 stars. Definitely the triple threat match was much better.
Yeah, and Tom also ranked it 4.5. He didn't give us the overall show ranking though. Let's see. Uh,
No, I
he
mean
didn't do
just
it for
by
any of them. Yeah,
no, just by looking at his
it was a
s-
4-star show.
star ratings, yeah, I he's saying it's a 4 star show. I'm saying that it's overall NXT Stand and Deliver was probably a 4 star show.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was 4 stars. Could have been more if we threw that women's match out and replaced it with the Casey Spears match.
Yeah, and then
Um,
taking some time away from the women's championship match and the men's championship match,
yeah,
um, and slowed Ben and A Kid down a little bit.
yeah. Um, but it's developmental, you know. You got to learn things here and there and learn the pace
Hmm.
and stuff. Um, so from there, let's move on to our first big show of the night, or our first big show of the weekend. That's how they want to deal with it. The extra large WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Um,
extra large WrestleMania. I love it.
and then night one opens up with one of the best matches I've ever seen in my life, in general. And that's Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley. Apparently, Becky Lynch had strep um, without their wrestling in 50-degree weather while also having a
Yeah,
fever. So, fuck her health. Um, no, still went out
yeah,
there and still put on a hell of a show and a hell of a match. I liked her outfit that she came out with. It was a dress made up of pretty much pages of her book, uh,
yes, I did
which was
like that.
good. Um, Obviously she didn't wrestle in that dress, but it was cool attire. Um,
Well, even her singlet
yeah, had stuff on it.
had, yeah, the torso part had scripture from her book.
Yeah. Rhea Ripley came out to with an introduction by a live performance by Motionless in White. And I think the funniest thing on commentary from that match was Corey Graves having to explain who Motionless in White was to Pat McAfee, and also explain that the lead singer's name is Chris Motionless.
So that was great. The other thing that was great on my end, nobody else would have saw this, but when Rhea and Chris got face to face and they were singing together,
Yeah,
Jesse walks in and she's like, "Is that her brother?"
they do look alike.
They do look a lot
A
alike.
lot of people told me that it's like, are they related? Like, no, but they definitely do look alike.
Hmm.
But no, it was cool. Sorry, Rhea was out there singing with. She was singing her song out loud and just in general and
Yes,
doing her stuff.
you
But you
could
could
tell she was
tell,
having a real good time.
yeah. I mean, it's one of her favorite bands. Um, Emotional White is a really good band. I like them in
Oh
general.
yeah,
But no, just I always said if you can get your theme song performed live, it's probably one of the best feelings ever.
yes,
Um, but no, great match overall. This was they talked about on the press conference show. Um, this was sort of the passing of the torch. They were saying from the four horsewomen to the next generation of the next four horsewomen. Which to me, or they didn't, they just said the next generation. I think I don't think they said the next four horsewomen,
yeah,
but the next generation. Um, Rhea Ripley, Bianca, and all of them.
and Jade,
Jade, yeah. Well, she's still got to develop, but
but yeah,
her potential's 100%. We just got to see the development first.
yes.
Um, but no, beautiful match. Went 17 minutes. I'm surprised because Becky Lynch being sick and it was freezing cold that day.
And you could tell on her face
Yeah, she did
that
not feel
she
good.
not at all, but she still went out and she performed to the very best of her ability
Mhm.
and then some.
Yeah, no, it
So
was a beautiful match all the way through. Like I said, one of the best matches I've seen in my life. Um, the epitome of women's wrestling at that level is so hard to like. There's been a lot of great women's wrestling matches in WWE in the last few years, of course. You know, the women's revolution, whatever kind of thing. But Rhea Ripley is just such a special generational talent. Um, and still so young. Like she's 26. She's still got years,
I know. I don't even think
years.
she's hit her prime yet.
She hasn't. And which is like when I'm thinking about it, it's like, man, she like because I remember like I've seen her wrestle for 10 years pretty much now. Like she
I
started when
know.
I think when she was 16. I'm like, she's 26 and she's still ain't hit her prime. She's you can see the pieces are there, almost there, 100%. There's still things here and there. I mean, everybody does, she's sometimes break character, but who cares? Like most people don't believe in kayfabe anymore. It's whatever. But no, amazing match. Loved it. I give this match definitely a 4.75. Or
This
4.5, 4.5, 4.5.
this was the best match of night one, in my opinion. Uh, I think it was definitely the best match of night one, and maybe the best match of WrestleMania. Uh, I'm. We'll get into it
Yeah. Yeah. It might,
as
to
we
me,
go.
like I said, this one, last, when I said the triple threat match, NXT and this match are competing for number one.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
I I give this match the four and a half, 4.75, right in there. I rank it the same as I do that triple threat match from NXT.
yeah, I probably have to just like go through in my head again and pick
I
one or something. But yeah,
I would have to watch it again,
yeah,
and I will. I really enjoyed this year's WrestleMania. Uh, in totality, there were
yeah,
some things
totally.
about it that I didn't like, and we'll
Yeah.
talk about that when we get to those moments. Uh,
um, but no,
but
oh, let me see what Talon. I forgot to see that.
Talon
Talon
gave it
gives is
a four even.
a four even, but he gave Trick and Mello a 4.5.
I He gets to explain himself next week. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to um, I forgot to say, I forgot to see all the matches that we had called correctly and whatnot.
Uh,
But this was another one you called exactly the way it would have finished with the splitting of the titles and exactly who it would have gone to.
yeah. Uh,
So the six-pack ladder match for both the titles, yes, they were both hanging up, or all four were technically hanging up. Raw was on one side and SmackDown was on the other side on a hook. Um, they were both hanging up. But Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, aka A Town Down Under, and the Awesome Truth, aka Miz and R Truth, respectively won the SmackDown and Raw championships. And a really good ladder match with a lot of people, which is usually not something you can say because there's just so many bodies, and just so much gimmicky stuff that has to go through and
it
everything.
was, but I also felt like there was a lot of flat dead time
Yeah,
in this match for
yeah,
there to have been six tag teams, and you had like New Catch Republic, A Town Down Under, DIY, Awesome Truth, the New Day. No, not the New Day.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
New Day.
yeah, the New Day, uh, and Judgment Day. And then to come to find out that Finn Balor's afraid of heights.
Which doesn't make any sense because he was in a steel cage match and jumped off the top of it.
I know, but in the press conference, Rhea Ripley alluded to that, like that Finn Balor is afraid of heights. I don't know. I mean,
I mean, it's probably true. And just adrenaline is making us do stupid things. I mean, we've been in a wrestling ring. We've all had. You
yeah,
guys have done ladder. You've done ladder match. I said hell no to that.
I've done a
Yeah,
couple of ladder
yeah.
matches,
So,
but yeah,
um,
um,
yeah, nah,
but
forget gimmick matches.
I think the best part of this whole match was when Damien's going to climb up and the female ref Jessica, I think is her name, is like crawling through the ring to grab him to let him know that the ladder was broke. to be careful. Did you
Yeah,
catch that?
yeah. Then he switched the ladder. He threw it out.
Yeah.
And R-Truth threw one in, and they caught that. And then Corey Graves was like, "Oh, I think R-Truth might have been hit. He must have forgot that he's not part of the Judgment Day anymore. Like he tried to cover it up because he got caught, and he saw it on the monitor getting caught, which is a
Yep.
good cover up. But I was like, oof, cameraman, this is not the time to switch over a guy, the director in the booth.
Right.
Um,
But that's the sign. I'm gonna give props to a referee. That's the sign of a good referee. Noticing that he's fixing to climb this ladder and could possibly like get hurt because it's gonna crumble,
yeah,
and she lets him know because
yeah,
he
because
didn't know that.
no, because the way that ladder would have folded inwards, and there's no you can expect to go backwards on the ladder or side to side. You're not expecting to go face first. There's no
Right.
you're hitting your face hard on that top rung. You're done.
Yep.
No, it was still a fun match overall. Everybody, as always in multi-man matches, everybody got their spot in. Um, I was so happy that Austin Theory and Grayson Waller won SmackDown won, respectively. Like I said, I wanted them to win regardless. They've done a lot of work this last year. Uh, really showed up and done a lot. And they're like I said, you got to have those heels that you hate, you love to hate. These guys, you love to hate them, but they're so good, you still want to watch them. Um, so yeah, uh, and awesome truth. Yeah, it was. Yes, we knew they were going to take the titles from Judgment Day because that was a story told on Raw. But they had to find
Yep.
ways to split the title, and it was fine.
Well,
They were
and the fact that our truth finally got his
WrestleMania win
WrestleMania win.
after being in WWE for 46 years now.
Yes.
But no, like that surprised me that he's never won at WrestleMania until now. But also Xavier Woods has never won at WrestleMania. Yeah, during one of the behind the scene things, anytime it was New Day winning at WrestleMania, it was Iggy and Kofi. It was never Xavier Woods.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh
Xavier Woods has
wow.
never won at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I thought about that
Uh
too, and I was like, wait, what? But it was always Kofi and Big E.
yeah.
He's
I
also he's also the only one to not hold the main title.
That's right. That's right. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's weird to think about because New Day's been
It
together so
is.
long and have done so
Yeah.
much. They've even hosted WrestleMania, but he has not won a WrestleMania match.
That's insane. Uh okay.
Um,
Wow.
I give this a 3.5.
I
It's hard to make a cluster match like this great. But they did the best they could with what they had, and
yeah.
like I
I
said, so many people in the with so many bodies, you have to do so many gimmicks for the match. So I mean,
I was gonna give it 3.75. So yeah.
and then Talon probably gave it a 47.
Talon gave it three even.
Sometimes he makes sense, and sometimes he doesn't. I don't get it. But yeah. So next up was a match that could just been thrown away altogether. Um, the continuing story of Rey Mysterio versus Dom Mysterio, but this time we had Andrade and Santos Escobar because we had to have two guys that could actually wrestle well together and put on a story, and then we had to have the Mysterios in there just to have the Mysterios in there. This was literally a Mexican gang warfare match.
It
Uh,
really was.
literally four
Like,
Mexicans fighting each other,
well, not
and
only that, but then the outside people. This is
well,
another one of those
Carlito's
matches.
Caribbean. Carlito's Caribbean. He's from Puerto Rico.
But this is another one of those matches where everybody got involved for no
No reason,
reason.
though. Yeah. It went 11 minutes, and I'm sorry. If it was just Andrade versus Santos Escobar, 11 minutes would have been enough for them. And it would have been a beautiful match, amazing match, strong match. But you had to have all the stupidity around it, of all the goofiness of the Mysterio's issue. This is a 2-star match,
Oh yeah,
respectively.
two
Like
star. It. You said it went 11 minutes. What?
11 minutes, 5 seconds. It went
It
11 minutes.
felt
Yeah.
like it went 30
So
minutes.
yeah, it was.
It
I
felt
felt like it
like
just
it
kept going,
drug on forever.
which is surprising to me when I look at the time for the next match after this. We'll get to that in a second. But no, this match was abysmal. Like, bruh, it
Yeah.
was so unnecessary. Um, yeah, I'm glad Andrade got to have his match. Like I said, I was like, I wanted Andrade there. Andrade versus Santos Escobar would have just been such a better match, and just all out, just a better match between those guys. Um, but we had to have the Mysterio story continuing on, and it's going to
I,
continue on because they didn't resolve anything.
no, they didn't. It was like until they go one on one, and
But they did
Dom
last
pins.
year.
Did they?
They went last year's WrestleMania was Ray versus Dominic.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, last year's WrestleMania was Dom versus. I'm pretty sure was Dom versus Ray at night one. I believe. Let me double check. Uh, Event. Go through the matches. Why are you not listing the matches? List the matches. Boom. Yeah, Rey Mysterio, night one, Rey Mysterio defeated Dominic Mysterio in a 15-minute match.
Okay.
That was the match they put on literally before Rhea and Charlotte Flair. That's probably why you don't remember it. But WrestleMania 39, I remember they literally had a one-on-one match. Because I feel like that's when Dominic came out in the prison car or the police car and was escorted to the ring by the policeman.
Yes. I remember that, but I just don't remember it being him and Ray one on one.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. There's how forgettable that match was. I
Yeah.
apologize.
It went almost 15 minutes, bro. It went longer than this match. And this match was a tag match with multiple people on the outside. But Talon gave this a 2.5. He gave it more than we did.
So
Uh
yeah. We're close. We're close.
yeah. Um, but this next match also went 11 minutes, 5 seconds. It did not feel like it. Felt like it was so much shorter than that. And that's the Battle of the Brothers, Jimmy versus Jay, in a really good match. Um,
You like this match?
I like this match,
I
yeah.
hated this match.
Why?
It was nothing but super kicks.
Well,
Like
yeah, that's what the Usos do. But they at least told the story.
they did tell a story. I will give you that. They did tell a story. But I got tired of seeing them kick each other in the damn face.
They have no more moves in their arsenal. Samoan drop, kicks to the face, and splashes. That's literally their arsenal. That's what it's been for 12 years. They literally have the same exact move set, like copy paste. But no, they told a story throughout the whole time. There were slow moments that told that Jimmy was in control, was just beating up on Jay, being relentless, and then they started telling the point where Jimmy faked an injury or was just begging for forgiveness, and Jay was thinking about it. He hesitated a lot, hesitated a lot. Then came the moment of the super duper kick, and then he came out with the splash for the win. I liked it because it told a good story overall, and it may not have completed their story per se, but it sort
Yeah, I
of
don't
did
feel
at the
like
same
it
time.
did.
I feel like it did, but it didn't because Jay winning puts him over Jimmy, I guess. But this is their first match, and you have to have a multiple brother versus brother match
Yeah.
series. So right now, Jay has the upper hand. So Jimmy's got to find a way to entice Jay to do the rematch. But I give this one an even 3.
I was going to give it an even 3, even though I didn't like it. I mean, it was a personal not like because I got tired of seeing them kick each other in the
Yeah,
face.
I mean, I did too. Like,
Uh,
I was like,
but
y'all really don't have a move set at all.
they
Like,
don't. Uh, not as singles wrestlers. Um, but I do have to say that the Uso splash J hit for the finish was beautiful. Like
he got
adjusting
air.
in mid, he
Yep.
got air, adjusted in mid air, and still landed perfectly.
Hmm.
Like that's hard to do.
Yep. But yeah, no. Like I said, a flat three. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't the show steal or anything, but it told the story it's supposed to tell really well. But they have a copy paste move set, so
Yeah,
um, and Talon gave us a 3.25. See, we're staying within range of Talon's random ranking system.
yeah.
um, they know that match went 11 minutes, but like I said, I didn't feel like it went 11 minutes at all. Um,
It felt much shorter,
mhm.
whereas the
Last match,
Mysterio versus Mysterio match essentially felt like it drug on forever.
it sure did. Um, so the next match, we have a 6-woman tag match that showed what a 6-woman tag match should be compared to NXT.
Except for they buried the shit out of Dakota in this match.
Dakota's
I
always gonna be
didn't like
the
that.
scapegoat. But she's always the scapegoat. Because here's the thing, Oscar and Kari. First of all, Oscar, you ain't burying Oscar. Ain't no way you burying Oscar nowhere.
She's not gonna
Uh,
let you.
no, she'll beat the shit out of you. Oh, you want to know so? Bet. But no, but since her and Kari Sane are the women's tag champions still,
Yes. But when's the last almost in the same vein as EO, when is the last time that they defended the women's tag titles?
they defended it a couple weeks ago, but Austin's been got hurt at a live show like right after they defended it. So that's why they haven't really had her do anything besides come out. They've been trying to protect her and well, make sure she doesn't hurt herself more. Um, but no, it was for what it was good. It went 8 minutes, which is what the other one should have went. Um,
Yes.
but no, it did what it was supposed to do. Bianca and Naomi and Dakota, Asuka and Kyrie did their thing best they could, protected Jade from being overexposed. Still kept the moment up and everything. Jade was still a step or two behind, but you can see she's picking it up more and more and more.
Yes, yes.
Um, like we said, she has the potential in the world, but she didn't get the flow training because there is a way where you train for matches. You have to get the flow of everything, you have to understand it, and really the way to do that. Everybody says you just got to go out there and you just got to go out there and have the match in front of people. Yeah, that's one way, but consistently having matches or just continuously learning over and doing match simulation over and over and over again. What was it? What was it that Thatcher the Broadway matches, just continuous Broadway matches.
Oh, with the dusty finish.
Yeah,
The hour long with the dusty
was the
finish.
finish. Yep, and
Yeah.
just he did that for a month long with so many people. That's what they did for a month. Every day you'd have an hour match every day, and then you learn the flow of stuff because you don't want to wear yourself out. If you're going 6 minutes, you don't want to wear yourself out. And you learn pacing really well in that way.
Oh yeah.
um, but no, this match did what it's supposed to do. It showed off Jade what it was supposed to, kept Bianca and Naomi strong. Dakota Kai unfortunately got buried, but Asuka and Kairi looked good overall, regardless. Give this one also a flat three.
I was gonna three almost it's that borderline 2.75 to 3 for me for the fact that they buried Dakota so bad. Um I'll go 3, but she can do so much more.
So much more. She did not get time to do her stuff ever,
No.
anywhere. Um, Talon gave this one a 2.75, so you again still within range of the weird rating system Talon gives.
Yeah.
Um, Way better than the other women's. This is what they should have learned. Um,
Oh yeah, much better than the 6 woman tag match
NXT,
on
yeah,
NXT.
NXT. So up next from that one was Sami Zayn versus Gunther. I mean, basically just a Sami Zayn Gunther match. I mean, Gunther just beating the crap out of Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn not giving up. Yeah, super duper underdog. Oh no, gotta just keep going, keep going, going. I,
I get the story they were trying to tell
and yeah,
with the way that Sammy won, because Gunther kept he broke from his traditional just focus on the match and kept talking smack to Sammy's wife. So I get that, but man, he beat the dog shit. Excuse my language, but he beat the dog shit out of Sami Zayn. Had he done that to any other person, he would be in prison.
mm-hmm,
I mean,
just ruthless the whole time. But I get it. You have to move on from Gunther being in the mid card, but my thing is now that you're moving him up, the person who has the title on there because we're not there yet. Gunther's losing, so why do we keep why? What's the point? I don't get it. Yeah, it's time to move on to a new title reign, whatever, new workhorse um selection. Sami Zayn is the guy to do that with. I still would have rather had Chad Gable be the guy.
well,
Uh,
here's my question. Theoretically, how long can Sami Zayn hold on to the Intercontinental Championship? There's no way he comes anywhere close to the Gunther reign. Uh,
Not unless he
but
turns heel.
still, like, even when he was the Intercontinental Champion on SmackDown as a heel, he didn't hold it that long. Like, okay, it's the feel good story, and the IWC is going to murder me for this. I like Sami Zayn. He does not need a championship.
He doesn't.
He's going to hold it for a
I said
couple of months.
till Money in the Bank probably
Yeah, July, August at the late. He might
4 months.
Win SummerSlam, August.
August, 4 months.
So he might hold it that long and lose it.
That's 120 days. That's long in wrestling.
That's how many days?
120 days. That's long in wrestling.
I say he drops it at SummerSlam.
Um,
And
I
I think he drops it to Chad Gable, who's going to turn heel.
we need to get Chad Gable out of Alpha Academy. It's ran
Yes.
its course. Whatever. It's a super joke gimmick comedy group. Chad Gable's not that guy. Get him out of there, please. Um, but back to the match. Um, Sami Zayn won by doing the thing we've begged for years, and it's hit the brain buster on the top rope.
Yes.
Nobody expected it.
I
We all popped for it.
I marked out. Like I scared my wife who was sitting next to me. Like he hit the brainbuster and I just screamed. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
Yeah,
you know,
I definitely was caught super off guard.
yes.
Definitely had to watch myself speaking because of children, but um, no, it was out of nowhere, and it shows that Triple H is letting guys have more. They kept saying over the weekend, creative freedom, but he
Yes.
has more trust in his. He has trust in his guys. He knows what his people can do and how they can work. He trusted them.
Yep.
He's going to let them. I mean, he plucked them from the Indies. He knew what they could do there. He knows they can work certain ways. They can do certain moves and protect people. Let them do it. Whatever. Um, Overall, I give this match a 4.25. Gunther to me does not have bad matches. I've not seen yet to this day one single bad Gunther match.
No.
I hate that he lost the title to Sammy. Yeah, internet wrestling community, whatever, cry, write your comments, go to your blogs, whatever. Um, yeah, Sami Zayn deserves it, but he doesn't need a title. Gunther also doesn't need a title, but he's made this title a prestigious item.
He's made the Intercontinental Championship mean something.
Yeah, it has been a while since we've had that. Everybody kept trying to say we're going to do that, we're going to do that, and they just have created just make them do a loop over and over again, whatever. But Gunther actually held it, worked his ass off to make it prestigious by being a true emperor of the title. Let's just see what they're going to do going forward with both these guys. Um, but yeah, 4.25. This match also went 15 minutes, 30 seconds. I don't, I sort of felt it being a 15-minute match, but not like in a bad way. Like I was like, they're giving them time. They're giving them time, and which is good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I give it 4.25.
and that's what
Uh,
also what Talon gave them, and he said that was also his favorite match of the his favorite match. Yeah, that's what he said. His favorite match of night one, I guess. Um, so next from there we have the main event of night one, the Bloodline versus Rose and Rollins. Um, Stipulation being, if the Bloodline wins night two main event, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns will have a Bloodline match, which nobody knows what that meant, except that was no DQ.
I still
Um,
couldn't tell you what the hell a Bloodline Rules match is, and I seen it.
yeah, mm, we'll get to that. But this match overall was really good. Surprised me overall. Well, I shouldn't say surprised me because you have Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, two good workers, and you have a talented mid Carter and Cody Rhodes there, and then you have the surprise entry of the part timer with The Rock. But The Rock in the press conference said that since Rumble, he anywhere he went to, they would fly in a ring and he would fly in wrestlers and just work on his wrestling. So every day he was just still training over and over, trying to get back in ring shape because he knows you can't just go back in the ring. um, you have to have some of that feeling back and everything like that. Um,
Yeah. I think the biggest surprise of this match was how well The Rock looked.
mhm. He literally looked like himself, like he used to back in the
Yes.
late '90s, early 2000s, and everything like that. Was working really well. Was not afraid to take big spots.
No, not at all.
I was surprised that he went through a table. Um, because hey, you get hurt, The Rock, you ain't gonna make the movie for a while. So
Right.
I was surprised, but no, they told the story really well. There was even a point where Roman accidentally speared The Rock, and what it was it Cody? Was it Cody or Seth? I can't remember. It was Cody moved out of the way, and The Rock was behind him, and Roman hits him. They look at each other. Uh,
I will say that the way he sold that spear, he made it seem like that was the most devastating spear in the history of spears.
that's the thing with The Rock, man. That boy knows how to sell. But no, it was a really good match. The Rock won in a really disrespectful way, in my opinion. Um, he hit the rock bottom on Cody Rhodes, but doesn't go for the pin. He does the people's
People's
elbow,
elbow?
but he also did the 1 point, and then he did his little the neck slit, and then did the people's elbow. And I'm like, and that actually one I was like, you didn't have to do the people's elbow. You didn't have to do the people's elbow. You could have won with rock bottom, perfectly timed.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so Rock and Roman win, which means night two is a bloodline match. I give this one a 4-star rating. It was
Yeah.
good. It was really good. Um, Definitely went long. It was 44 minutes long.
Oh,
Uh,
it went forever. Yeah.
but yeah, they told just spots here and there. They had their stuff going, but I'm also disappointed that Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins did not come out together looking like Magnum TA and Dusty Rhodes in the fur coats.
I
Um,
know, I know, I
but
know.
yeah,
A buddy of mine, when Seth came out, a buddy of mine texted me. He's like, "What the hell is he wearing?" I was
yo,
like, "It don't matter."
it doesn't matter. Like that dude has one of the beautifulest women in the world as his wife. He don't. It does not matter what he wears. Does not matter what he looks like.
As the kids nowadays say, his game is crazy.
It definitely is because that man came out looking like Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire with that outfit. Um, you couldn't tell what was going on. Um, but no, night one overall, I will give it a strong four.
Strong four,
Uh,
four, yeah, yeah, strong four.
Going by Towns rating, I guess the average all would probably be a three and a half, 3.75. Um, I don't know. Yeah. Um, so now we're on to night two. The opening match is Drew McIntyre and Seth freaking Rollins. The match went 10 minutes, felt longer than that. It dragged on because Drew McIntyre was I get the whole angle was him and Punk still having beef and him just trying to show off whatever, blah blah blah. Drew McIntyre opened it up with a Claymore kick. Everybody thought it was gonna be the bro kick to Daniel Bryan stipulation, like 3 second or 8 second match, whatever. Wasn't that way. Rollins took like four Claymore kicks in this match.
More than that.
Was it more than four?
He took four Claymore kicks in the last 30 seconds.
Was it like I just stopped counting. Like I was like,
I did too.
you're diminishing the move. Do it once or twice. Do it twice.
At this point, he can't finish anybody with a single Claymore kick.
No, he has to do two or three Claymore kicks now, which is
Yeah.
stupid. Like you diminished your own move.
Uh
Um, Go
I
ahead.
did find it funny that when in his entrance, he grabs the chick's cell phone out of the crowd
Hmm.
and starts taking pictures with it. I thought that was funny because she was focused on her phone and not the match. I
Yeah,
mean, they weren't wrestling yet, but like that's some straight indie stuff to do, and I marked out for that. I thought that was funny.
yeah. I did like it. Drew was on a different level. But this match just felt there was not a lot of energy in this match, in my opinion. Um, the focus was too much on Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, and not Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Um, Drew McIntyre actually beat Seth, um, and then McIntyre wins, cries and holds the title. Then he goes out and does like this seductual crawl towards CM Punk.
That was
So weird and
yes.
kind of trippy in that sense. But then um McIntyre is saying something to CM Punk. Nobody can hear what he's saying. CM Punk says nobody can hear you. No, you have to speak louder or something. McIntyre is like screaming and you still can't hear him. And um CM Punk trips McIntyre who's standing on the table. McIntyre takes a good hard back bump off the table and falls down. CM Punk then takes off his tricep brace,
Brace.
wraps it around his good arm, and CM Punk hits him with a crappy clothesline. Uh, and then Damian Priest music hits. We're all excited because yes, um, McIntyre gets up, gets hit in the head by the briefcase. Then McIntyre gets rolled into the ring by Damian Priest, which they're so weird with the Money in the Bank rule cash in because remember it used to be the person had to be able to stand on their own feet and be ready for the match, but this one they rolled Drew McIntyre in, bell ring, Damian Priest hits the South of Heaven, Drew goes down 1 2 3. Damian Priest is now your workhorse heavyweight champion.
And
Because
I
that's
marked out for that.
oh, I did too.
Uh,
So good, so good.
Having been uh, I worked one of Damian Priest's last independent shows. I was in the ring with him when he was going by Punishment Martinez, and uh, I there's not a more deserving guy right now that I can think of to be that champion.
I mean,
Uh,
he's pretty much been the workhorse the whole year. Him, and I mean, he had the third most matches overall, the most televised matches.
yeah.
He's worked both shows almost all year round.
Well, and NXT too. He
Yeah,
was on NXT some too, wasn't he?
yeah, like a couple shows. So yeah, like he was
Yeah.
there doing everything. Um, but no, if you would have told me 5 years ago that Punishment Martinez would have been the Raw champion, I wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah.
Um,
That was the best spot for him to have won
mhm.
that title. Like
Yep.
Drew gets his win in front of the crowd. Big feel good moment.
Yeah, yeah, but he's a heel, which is so stupid that you would give him a big Phil moment. It
Yeah.
was so dumb.
Uh so and then for Damien to cash in and win, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But now, like I said, he's the workhorse heavyweight champion. Um, and Rhea's the workhorse women's champion.
Yes.
Um, so we go to the next match, which actually was enjoyable
Well,
to me.
what was your star rating
Oh,
for Seth and Drew?
yes. Seth and Drew, three. So
Three.
flat.
Three.
Seth
Yeah.
Rollins has had so many great matches at WrestleMania. This is by far the worst one.
I give the match itself three. Uh, I'll give the cash in a four.
Oh, the cash in was definitely a four. Um, but man, Drew and Seth just was so flat and nobody cared.
Yeah.
Um, Talon gave it a 3.5. He says the cash in was a 5 star. Um, yeah. Um, Next up we have the Pride, which is Bobby Lashley, Dawkins, and Ford, and BFAB. Still don't know why she's part of the group. Um, Going against the Final Testament, but in a Philadelphia street fight. But the biggest surprise of the match was good old Bubba Ray Dudley being a special guest referee.
That was a huge surprise. For me, the best part of the match was Snoop Dogg's commentary.
Yeah, like Snoop Dogg, you could tell that man is a fan of the business because he acted like everything was 100% realistic life. He might have been obviously he would have been high as crap, so he was everything must have been like in super panorama, high def, realistic 3D touch, whatever and sound. But no, everything was real to him, and like, dang, bro. But no, this match, this quote unquote street fight, um, so it's
I
another
was
multi-man
expecting
match.
more of this from this match.
I was too, but that's because my expectations of Karrion Cross is so high because I have so much hope for this guy because he's so great and they don't do anything with him. On the other hand, we know the Pride; those three guys are solid no matter what. They don't have bad matches. So, um, but no, I just felt like one Karrion Cross's entrance was flat. He didn't really do anything, which is
Nope.
surprising to me. Um, but no, Bobby Lashley, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford got the win. Essentially, Akam and Razor was taken out by Montez Ford doing just a tope onto the outside onto them, and they just were out for like 5 minutes from that point,
Yeah.
or more like 3 minutes. But um, there was a point where Karrion Cross hits Bobby Lashley with his finish. Bobby Lashley kicks out at two. Uh, Karrion Cross gets in Bubba Dudley's face. Bubba Dudley pulls out the glasses from his pocket, and then um, it pretty much became a 4-on-1 at that point. I mean, Bubba really didn't get too involved or anything, but but no, Bobby Lashley hits Karrion Kross with some moves. They eventually, and then Bubba Ray Dudley instructs Bobby Lashley, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, and they hit the "What's Up" on um, Karrion Kross. Throwbacks to obviously the Dudley Boys. Just a great moment. I mean, the nostalgia was great for this match. Um, and then Bubba hits Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley hits Montez Ford. Montez Ford hits Angelo Dawkins. They do the countdown. They say get the tables. They bring in a table. They put Karrion Kross on it and it crumples, which was hilarious. They beat the crap out of Karrion Kross some more. They bring in another table and they gingerly put him on that one. Montez Ford hits the splash, um, the big old frog splash. 1, 2, 3. The Pride wins. Um, oh yeah, there was a spot where B-Fab and Scarlett went through a table for no reason at all besides going through a table.
I
Um,
and that was the most awkward looking side Russian leg sweep
yeah, it was
ever.
ugly. It was so ugly. Um, but no, like I said, Akam and Razor were out from such an easy move. Um, just a tope over the top for Montez Ford, which I mean, whatever. Um, I give this one a 3.5.
I can't give it a 3.5. It's a flat 3 for me.
For me, it was the nostalgia.
Here- Here's the thing. Can I include the commentary as part of the match?
Yeah, that's part of the match. Remember,
Then it
we talked
then
about
it's
Trick Williams being down
definitely
talked. So I mean,
yeah, then it's definitely a 3.75 just for Snoop's commentary.
uh, Talon gave this match a flat 3 as well. Um, so we're all within range of each other, whatever. Next match was the good old classic match. We have LA Knight versus AJ Styles in just a regular classic wrestler match. Went 12 minutes, 25 seconds. Didn't feel like that. They were just doing classic wrestling. The AJ Styles get the advantage. LA Knight's trying to get some shine in, gets cut off, build more heat, more heat, more heat. Go for the comeback, cut off one more time, build heat, then goes for the actual comeback. Big move, big move, big move. LA Knight gets the win. And I enjoyed it.
It was a good match, but it also felt flat.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense, like I don't know. There was just something about this match, and I was texting a buddy of mine during this match, and I was like, "Oh, that was a good spot." And then the finish happened, and I was like, "That was kind of meh."
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of these matches had no true build up to a finish that worked and made sense to elevate it, I guess, in that point. Um, but no, the blunt force trauma, it was close to the rope, so I thought they were gonna like tease a rope break or something, but they
Or
didn't.
even like the ref sees AJ's foot under,
Yeah,
or
that's like any some kind of way to, yeah, and then, but
yeah,
no,
because it was super close to the ropes.
yeah, but no, they just finished. I was like, oh, okay. I liked it overall. I definitely give it a 3.5 as well. Well, 3.75 because it's definitely better than the Pride and Final Testament.
Yes, yes. uh yeah, this is match wise in totality, this was a 3.75. The only reason the Pride match got such a high rating for me was because Snoop and Bubba.
Yeah.
I'm just
Um,
saying, I'm
I
being
mean,
honest.
hey, you're being honest. What did Talon give this? He gave it a 4.25. Um, which I mean, I expect it is a classic wrestling match, and he loves that stuff. Um, Next up was your favorite match of the night. Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Logan Paul comes out with the Prime Bottle mascot, who later on gets revealed to be I Show Speed, which I hate that motherfucker with a passion. Um, so annoying, ruined a whole generation of kids with his horrible streaming ability. But he got RKO'd onto a table, so I'm okay with that. Um, even
Yeah,
even the kids were like, "Why is Speed there?" I'm like,
right.
I ask that every day of my life of why Speed is on anything right now. Um, which apparently he's involved in a freaking scandal right now, but not of his fault. But so dumb. Um, but no, this match, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton worked well together. They were doing their thing. Pretty much beat the crap out of Logan Paul for 5 minutes straight.
Yeah,
Uh, and they got to the point where every triple threat match you gets to when you're teaming up and you have the alliance, you figure out, oh, somebody's got to go for a pin. But they twisted it on this one. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens both went for a pin at the same time. Oh, excuse me. Um, they both look at each other, and Kevin Owens like, so this is where we're at. And Orton's like, yeah, but hey, let's not worry about that right now. Let's beat the crap out of Logan some more. And they literally just jump back on Logan Paul and start beating the crap out of him some more. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, what? But it was a way for Orton to lower Kevin Owens' guard because he went for the RKO like right after that. Kevin Owens pushes him off, and Orton does the you caught me moment. And then I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I guess it's a cool way to sort of not go directly to just punching the crap at each other, but it still seems like an Orton thing to do. Like, oh, yeah, I'm still on your side, like backstab you kind of thing. Like, it worked well,
right.
in my opinion. I know you want to talk about this match more, so
Okay, so here's what I didn't like about this match. I I, I was happy that Logan won because I felt like he needed to keep the title. We
yeah, he
talked
needed it more
about
than
that.
anybody. He needed it more than
We
anybody.
talked about that last week on our prediction show. I didn't like the fact that Randy Orton kicked out of a brass knuck shot, like a clean net brass knuck shot. Like for what? Like you just diminished that, and then for the fact that right after that, Kevin Owens took one, and he sold it like death for ever.
Yeah, he was pretty much done at that point.
Yeah. And I was disappointed that I didn't get to see Owens hit the
Package pile
package
driver.
pile driver. Yeah, I figured since they let Sammy hit the brain buster, that they would let Kevin hit the package, and maybe he still will eventually. But I was just really expecting Logan Paul to be the guy who took it. We know Randy's not taking that fucking move.
Bro, there that spot when what was it? Orton was on the top. He was about to it was the spot where he had where they're about to do the big top drop.
Yeah.
Um
And he just
and
started wailing on Logan. He's
Logan
like,
and yeah, he's like, I'm not taking this spot. He starts wailing on both of them. But at that point, like Logan moved away after getting punched too many times. Kevin Owens fights him off and knocks him down. Randy Orton fell down by stepping off the ropes and just falling to his side. He's like, I'm not taking no damn bumps. Bruh,
yeah,
I get it. But none of us want to take bumps. You need to take a bump somewhere.
right.
Um, but hey, I mean, he's made a 20-year career out of not really taking bumps. I mean, and early on in his career he did, but after that he's like, I'm not doing this no more.
The only
But
bump he really takes
it's the
anymore is
RKO.
when he gives the RKO.
That gave him neck fusion surgery. So,
Yep.
but no, the big story was also the brass knuckles and everything. But like I said, there was a moment where Randy Orton was about to do the punt to Logan Paul, which really surprised me that they teased it because I was like, oh snap, we're really bringing that back. I was like, okay, we just saw the package pile driver, or not the package pile driver, the brain buster. Like, well, might as well bring the punt back. Why not? And Logan's the guy that they do it too. And they're like, yeah, yeah, if he gets hurt, he got hurt, but it looked cool. But no, that's when the prime bottle saves Logan Paul by pulling him out, and then Randy Orton's look at the prime bottle, and we're trying to figure out who it is. And I thought it was KSI because KSI was there last year, and then the last time him and Orton sort of have this history because of this, and it was
Right.
Speed, and I'm like, please end this now. Oh my god. Like I said, even the kids were like, why is Speed here? This makes no sense. It should be KSI, but whatever.
Yeah,
Then
I
it's
didn't
really
I didn't understand that, but then it looked like Orton got mad.
he did because he actually pulled down, like he does the just he grabs and just takes down. He pulled down Speed's head, like he's like, "Yo,
Yeah,
you going? Like you did something wrong. You're going." And I'm like,
yeah,
he didn't let go of the RKO, and I'm like, I would have done the same thing, but okay. Uh, but no, get back in the ring. Orange about to win, blah blah blah, and then Logan Paul gets to win. I mean, it was decently good a match. I'd say a I'd say a 3.25.
yeah. 3.25.
Like it wasn't spectacular. It was good for what they did. 3.25.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Talon gave it a 4.75.
no way. Okay, he's got to explain that
That's his
because
highest rated match of the whole weekend.
uh,
Yeah, it's his highest rated match of the whole weekend.
the whole weekend, including Stand and Deliver.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. Talon, you have got to explain yourself on that one. Yeah.
From there we move on to
Because
Baylor.
it lost a whole star rating when Randy Orton kicked out of the flush brass knuck shot.
Bro, yeah, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh crap, that's how it's going to finish. I was like, okay, I was like, oh, they're not letting it go too long, which is cool. Like, oh, makes sense. And then no, it's still going. I mean, this match went almost 18 minutes. Um, it was the second longest match of the night two card, which sort of sucks because LA Knight and AJ Styles did not even get 15 minutes. But I guess when the man sponsors the event, you got to give him his time.
Yeah.
Uh, but no, we move on there. We go to Bailey versus Io, and we all call this Bailey winning her match. Obviously, her entrance was kind of goofy. Bailey's, I'm not gonna lie. She was dressed. She was coming out on as a Egyptian pharaoh or Pharisee. I can't
Yeah,
remember what it.
because there's a park in the area of in the Bay Area near where she grew up that was an Egyptian park.
Yeah,
Uh that was the reasoning behind that. And I mean, I get it, but also like you've never
once
done.
expressed that at all. Yeah.
Yeah,
She comes out on top of four guys who are not the same height. The people on her left were taller than the people on her right, and so she
and
was
they looked like
lopsided
they
coming.
were struggling to carry her.
Well, they were doing it all on shoulders. Like they weren't even holding her. Like they were literally all shoulder. Like, bruh, I don't care how many of us are there. We're all putting our shoulder onto this person. That's weight, regardless.
Yeah,
Um, and Bailey got a good old fatty on her. So you know what I'm saying? She got some weight on that back end. But no, it was a weird entrance. It was all right though. Then Io had her entrance, and I mean her entrance is always I always like her entrance regardless because her music's cool. But she just comes out and does her
yeah,
crazy walk around and everything. It was pretty cool. Um, but the match overall was really good, back and forth. Total good story overall. Pretty much a classic. Also another classic match, just between two people that can work well regardless. Um, nothing over the top, but also wasn't flat or anything. I actually like this one. It told a really good story. Bailey won with her weird finisher. I don't know why she hooks the arm between her legs still to this day.
yeah.
Um,
The what you call it? The rose petal, the rose
Something like
drop, rose something.
yeah, I don't know
Uh,
why. Just
but
yeah,
there was one point in the match where I thought Bailey really got hurt. It was on that first dive. Uh, and
where the eel didn't really catch her at all.
yes,
Yeah,
and you could see she came up limping immediately,
yeah,
and then Io went to work on the leg for the rest of the match.
yeah.
And even I don't know, did you watch the press conference
Mhm.
afterwards? Even to the point that she was like visibly limping,
Yeah.
uh, whereas really nobody else during the press conference was selling anything.
which
He's
made me
visually limping.
so mad that nobody sold. You just had a big like if you were on early, yeah, it makes sense for you not to really be showing wear and tear and stuff like that.
Right.
But Roman Reigns went out there the first night with a total dick. We'll talk about the press conference afterwards and everything, but it was
Dude,
a total dick.
I
It was.
laughed.
I did too. I thought it
I
was great.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
he was a total dick, but I laughed.
but no,
So
this match was really good overall. I feel like it got overshadowed a lot, being the semi-main event, unfortunately. And after that long match of that triple threat right before it, I don't feel like it got the crowd's energy like it should have.
no.
I still give it a four, probably 4.25 to be honest, 4.25, something like
I
that.
I was gonna go 4.25 because of the story they told.
Hmm.
There was one spot where it was it one of the moonsaults that EO hit.
Io hit
Uh,
a melody of moonsaults, which was amazing.
she did, but there was one that was awkward.
I
But
think it was the second rope one. I think is the one you're thinking of.
yeah. But I mean, in totality, the match was good. There was that one spot, that one moonsault that it was really, really awkward. But yeah, I'll give it a 4.25.
Tyler rated this a 3.5, so he's got some explaining to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the main event, the Cody Rhodes was here to finish his dad's story because he has no story of his own. It's all really dependent on who his dad is and his dad's legacy. Um, because Cody still can't muster up a way to make wrestling not about his dad. Um,
And I mean, I get it. Like Dusty, he inspired and helped so many people, but at some point, you have to make it about you and not somebody else. Like it cannot always be like, I want to do this thing that my dad never did. Like, I want to do this thing for me because I'm that good, you
yeah, but
know?
that wasn't the story. I'm doing it for my dad because he never got it. So your story is not your story. Like I tell people, like Cody Rhodes has no story. He's just a glorified mid Carter. Um, but no, Cody and Romans had a good 15 minutes, 15 or 20 minutes of back and forth going around. Roman over here doing his good thing of just being aggressive, beating the crap out of Cody here and there. Cody getting shining, blah 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 blah. Um, we're gonna skip ahead to the cluster fuck of the match. The blood rules kick in, so um, Cody's going for a pin on Roman. Out of nowhere, Jimmy interferes and breaks it up, and he attacks Cody, and then Jay music hits, and
Uh,
Jay.
Hold on. Before you say what Jay did, his music hits and he comes out pandering to the crowd.
I was about to say that he comes out and forgets that he's supposed to come and do a save because he almost goes and yeeks with the crowd for a second. He literally goes to the side, then realizes, oh crap, I've got to go out here and make a save. Run down to the middle, blah blah blah. Then Jimmy and Jay start fighting back and forth on the ramp, blah 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 blah. They start fighting up the ramp, and they get to a point where they're finally they're still on the ramp, but they're away from where the crowd seating is, and they're in the empty spot of the pit. Um, and I don't know if people noticed this, but I did. There was a cameraman right there waiting, just not even aiming up to the ramp, but he was literally aiming straight. So like, oh, they're going to go through a table. Lo and behold, Jimmy's staggering on the crowd. Jay comes out, hits him with a spear. They fall through a table. I was like, I hate when the camera reveals things that's not supposed to show.
Right.
um, Now that they're out of the way, Roman's like looking around. He's like, holy crap, Jimmy's out. He's like, well, I got to keep going back. Um, He's fighting, fighting, fighting. Cody fights back. Cody gets up. Um, he's got a crossroad on Roman. They're struggling for a second. Camera zooms in. Looks like they're about to hit the big spot right there. And Solo Sequoia comes out and does the same thing he did last year and hits Cody in the throat with the Samoan spike during the crossroads. Um, then Solo Takes a minute to look around, and then he drags Roman's body on top of Cody. 1, 2. Cody kicks out. Solo's mad. He starts to yell at Roman, "Get up! We need to finish this. Get up! Get up!" And Roman's like, "I know, I know." He starts getting up. Then Roman and Solo do a perfectly timed Samoan Spike spear at the same time.
Yeah, and I think this was the most charisma that Solo has shown
Yep,
ever. And I'm
ever.
like,
Yep,
okay, where has this guy been?
yep. But they hit that move, and I'm like, okay, it should really be over because he just took two finishes in one. But now kicks out at two, and Solo's beating up on Cody, and then John Cena's music hits. So like, okay, Solo and Cena has whatever the history because Solo retired Cena. Makes sense. Cena comes down, starts doing his thing to Solo, gets him out of the ring. Then he hits Roman Reigns with the attitude adjustment or the FU. I don't know if they're going to go back to that or not, whatever. And Cody goes for the pin. Roman Reigns kicks out. The Rock's music hits. Boy, was it still going. Um, Cena's waiting the ring. He takes his hat off, and we see his bald spot for a second.
For a
What's his hat?
second, bro, you can watch a whole movie on that bald spot.
um, Man, but no, Rock does takes his sweet time to come out to the ring. Literally does his whole thing, lets the music hit, gets to a certain point, then he comes out, does all his moments. I'm like, if I'm Cena, why would I continue beating up on Roman right now? Um, I never get why wrestlers wait for the other wrestler to get in the ring instead of continuously attacking. Still don't get that. But then The Rock finally eventually gets to the ring, and him and Cena have a stare off. John Cena goes to throw a punch. Granted, John Cena's not been hit at this point, not been weakened whatsoever. He throws a
Nope.
punch, misses the punch, gets grabbed in rock bottom, doesn't fight out of it, gets hit with the rock bottom, rolls out the ring.
It was an ugly rock bottom, too.
Yeah. And I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. Why did John Cena just take the move without being hit by anybody? Um, I don't even remember what The Rock did to Cody at that point. Like, I just
Did
lost
he
so
like
much interest.
kick him or something?
I don't even remember what he did, to be honest. Maybe he didn't do anything and Roman did something. I don't remember. Whatever. Rock does something. Cody gets pinned. Cody kicks out again. At this point, Cody has taken so many finishers. He should never be. He should never take a finisher again in his life and be pinned. So I guess that's his story is that he's unbeatable. Um,
Right?
um, Rock standing in the middle of the ring. Lights go dark. Everybody's confused. I thought the lights was going to go dark and then we were about to hear the glass shatter because you know when you hear the glass, that's your ass.
Yep.
But no, Undertaker um in his American Badass uniform or American Badass outfit is out there, and he just hits the Rock with a choke slam, and
Which
then
was also an ugly choke slam.
but then the lights go dark again, and there's nobody but Cody and Roman. Like the Undertaker just took everybody for like a split second.
They all rolled under the ring. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't.
I think they all did. Like they were all just gone. Like Solo, Cena, Rock, and Undertaker were just gone. Um, boom, boom, boom. Cody and Roman get up. They start fighting each other. Cody hits like 45 crossroads, wins the match. Cody finally finishes his story of blowing his dad's legacy so hard that it finally hit the money shot at WrestleMania. And then literally people come out of the crowd or from the back, and then he brings his family in. He's celebrating with some of the wrestlers, whatnot, blah blah. Oh crap! I completely forgot one spot. There was a moment before the Undertaker came out that the Shield's music plays,
Oh,
and
yeah.
everybody's looking to the crowd, looking for Seth Rollins, and literally out of nowhere, we don't see him. We literally can't. He's not on the hard cam side whatsoever. We're all looking either the ramp or hard cam, and out of nowhere, Roman pushes Rock out of the way and just runs and just spears somebody. Seth Rollins somehow in the ring. They didn't show at all where he came from. But he had a chair in his hand. And he's in full gear full shield gear outfit. Did he dye his hair or was it already dyed? I can't remember. His hair's always, I forget what his hair looks like every match at this point. Um, but he had the blonde and black hair loosened out or whatever. Takes a spear. He's just sitting there. So after the Rock, Undertaker took everybody away except for Seth Rollins. Um, and this is a pivotal point because there's a moment where Seth Roman Reigns picks up the steel chair that Rollins had brought in, and he's looking at Cody getting up on one side of the ring, and on the other side, Rollins getting up. And 10-year storytelling, Roman hits Seth in the back of the chair like Seth did him 10 years ago.
Yes.
Seth goes out of the ring from that point. And then Cody hits all the Cody cutters, beat blah, 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 disaster kick, 45 crossroads, whatever, wins the match, blowing everybody, like I said. But Cena randomly appeared again. Jay appeared again. Seth Rollins was still technically there. He never went away. Randy Orton came down to the ring. Kevin Owens came down. Sami Zayn came down to the ring. LA Knight was in the ring. I was so confused by this cluster of people. The CM Punk came into the ring. I'm like,
so this segment went on so long. I literally expected somebody to like attack Cody.
yeah, like it was just going. But then it kept going. Then Rose gets his title, gets the microphone, starts thanking everybody in the ring with him, blah blah blah. Starts crying, of course, because he has to cry. But then he's like, I want to thank one man in particular that made this all come true, and he's Triple H come down here. So apparently,
well, before he said Triple H, he was like Bruce Pritchard, and I was like,
yeah,
Bruce Pritchard?
I forgot about that, and that threw me off so much. But then Triple H comes down, they have their moment. So I don't know what kind of politicking Cody Rhodes has done to have Triple H forgive him for literally taking so many stabs at him when he was at AEW, because it's ridiculous. Um, and then they hoist Cody Rhodes up on their shoulders. I can't remember who it was because fuck it, doesn't matter. Cody Rhodes is crying. Happy, blah blah blah. And then it just ends. Yay! Finish the story. For this match, up to the point where it was just a wrestling match and not the clusterfuck, this match was a 4.25. But unfortunately, because of what happened, it drops it down to a 2.5.
Before the cluster, I would give it a 4.75. It was damn near perfect. And then
all the stupidity
everybody happened. All the stupidity, all this other stuff happens. And yeah, 2.5 stars total.
Like, it's just, and I know we're gonna get crucified, and we're like, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, you guys just don't understand it," or what? What are we supposed to understand? It was literally, it was a good match until it wasn't.
Right. If you cut out all of the BS,
yeah. I mean, the Jimmy J part was okay because that made sense.
The Solo part was okay. I'll even give you the Cena coming out and attacking Solo,
yeah,
as okay.
But
from also that point,
but also having Seth come out makes sense too. But Rock Undertaker, I mean Rock, yes, but the Undertaker part just took away from it because it's like he has nothing to do with this. But the thing is, like, it was become such a spot fest. It was literally like it was like a rumble match. Everybody hit your spot, hit your moment, hit your spot, then the new guy comes in and he does it to everybody else. I'm like,
Yeah. So
bro, I was like,
confused.
it literally was like an AEW match. There were just people going in the ring and just waiting. I'm like, bro, WWE, we're better than this. So it's just like it took me out of it so much. The kids were like, what is going on? Like, why are we still like just we're gonna have to keep waiting. We're just gonna have to keep waiting.
Right? It just did not make sense to me at all. All in all, what would you give night two?
Night two was a 3.5.
Yes. Yeah, three and a half.
Oh, wait on. Let's see what. So Talon gave Roman versus Cody 4.
Uh,
Um,
he must have forgot about the cluster.
for the overall average outlook, it's like a 4.25 for him. He liked night two more than night one, but which makes sense because his favorite match was on night two, and he gave it a 4.75. Um, no, WrestleMania was still good overall. It was a good weekend, regardless. There was just the whole. I get it. Cody Rhodes is taking over for the new era for Triple H's reign of creative stuff. Roman Reigns was the last guy's choice, um, but his story was still more entertaining than I feel anything Cody can do because Cody's ain't holding the title that long.
I give Cody 6 months max with the title.
That'll be what, October? I think he might make it to Survivor Series. I say 7. It'll be off of him by the end of the year.
I think so. Because A, he's a babyface. He doesn't need to hold it that long. B, he finished the story.
But what's the story? I keep asking people, what's the story? Nobody
Um,
knows what the story is.
no, now maybe uh after we watch Raw and SmackDown, we'll get a clearer picture. Because we'll go ahead and put it out there. We're recording this the day after Mania. So this is Monday. We've not seen Raw yet, and we haven't seen SmackDown yet. So we don't know, what they're going to tell us as part of the story moving forward. But like right now, the whole thing for the last 2 years was Cody had to finish the story. The story was him winning the title. So you won the title. The story's over. What's next?
That's the thing. A lot of people love the journey, but once you get there and you complete the journey, what's next?
Yeah, nobody knows.
And my biggest thing is the this the ramifications of this is when are we seeing Roman next?
And where does Roman go next?
Where does Roman
Like,
go next? And is the bloodline now? Or do we still have a bloodline?
right. We won't know.
Um, we like, yes, I trusted Triple H's booking and stuff. He's made me appreciate so much of what he done, especially during the Black and Gold era. He booked that was almost perfect. He booked stuff that didn't seem like it was going to work, or booked people in a way that didn't see it didn't work, and made it make sense and made it work. I'm going to trust him. Yeah, Raw and SmackDown are bigger because they're longer shows than NXT was at the time. Um, you also have way more top tier contenders, even though during his Black and Gold era of NXT, it was all pretty much main event guys and a bunch of new guys, and the new guys were at the level of some of the veteran guys.
Yes.
But with NXT, you only had to tell 3 or 4 stories. You had to tell a main card, the main title, mid card, women's tag title, and then just a random story, just a fifth. There's five story. Raw and
Yeah,
SmackDown, everything has to be a story,
pretty much.
and that's a lot of stories to tell. And when you finish a story, do you already have something in place? Because you got to keep picking it up.
Yeah, who's next? Who's the next contender for Cody right now?
Well, he's going to be going to SmackDown, so I guess it has to be Gunther. But do you have Gunther have this elite title reign, lose, and then lose again?
You can't. Like, you almost have to feed Cody a bunch of guys. You got to keep him and whoever your next champion is away from each other. Maybe one match.
Yeah, but my
Uh
thing is Gunther losing the title means he's moving up, but how do you keep him away from the title? Like, you literally just made this guy the best mid card guy of the modern era and made him
yeah,
easily dominate people. Um, but then what do we do now with him? What do we do now with Cody? What do we do with Roman? SmackDown is up in the air by a lot right now.
right.
But like we said, we're recording this before Raw, or technically during before and during Raw. So we haven't seen anything. Um, we're gonna watch Raw and everything later on, SmackDown, of course. Um, but thank you guys for watching. Overall, like I said, I still like the WrestleMania weekend overall. It's probably been the best WrestleMania in a couple years, top to
Yes.
bottom. Um, let us know what you guys think. We like to hear it. Hopefully next week when Talon's here, he's
He
going to
can
wrestling
defend
court. He's
his
going to wrestlers court because he's got to defend
yes.
this.
He's got to
Um,
defend his star ratings.
but let us know what you guys thought of WrestleMania weekend in general. Stand and Deliver, night one, night two. What was your favorite matches? Just overall, what you thought of the whole weekend. Um, and also this weekend when this comes, by the time this comes out, hopefully it's Thursday or Friday, um, you'll be able to see it. Come down to Huntsville, Comic and
Pop Culture Expo.
Pop Culture Expo. I was going to say Comic Pop Culture. I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense. But Comic and Pop Culture Expo. We will be there at the Vaughn Braun Center
Von
Saturday and
Braun.
Sunday. Um, Come out, hang out with us. We're hoping to meet a lot of the guests, but we're also hoping to meet a lot of fans that we don't get to normally see because you guys are it's in a different state. So hopefully we can see you guys, have some laughs, cut up with us, whatever you know what I'm saying. We will be there Saturday and Sunday, like we said. So if you're in the Alabama area or close to Birmingham, it's not Birmingham,
Huntsville.
Huntsville. Why did I say Birmingham? Huntsville. Come on down, make the trek. It's going to be a great convention overall. A great lineup of celebrities going to be there. There will be wrestling celebrities. Hopefully, we can get some interviews with them because we should be able to at least get that wrestling bond going from that point. Um, Talon gets to meet his favorite wrestler, Orange Cassidy, so I know he's gonna be a little nervous, but um, no. Overall, hopefully, great weekend. You got anything else to say, Chip?
Just as always, please do not leave without leaving a like, comment, share, and subscribe on Spotify and right here on YouTube. Drop us some comments. What was your favorite match from Mania? Night one, night two, NXT Stand and Deliver. Let us know if you agree with our ratings. Let us know, if we missed something on one of the lower rated matches that we rated. Let us know if we missed something that would have made it better, or whatnot. Just definitely, uh let us know what you think. Comments are very welcome. We do respond to all comments, and we take creative criticism very well. So please, let us know what you think.
Yeah. Um, we always appreciate the feedback. We always appreciate shares, likes, subscribe, and everything like that. Um, you guys have been really good at doing all that. Just building up our numbers, thankfully, um, in a good way. We really appreciate it. We're still making our goal towards 1,000 by the end of the year. You guys are making that possible. Um, you guys are obviously liking what we're doing. Like I said, numbers are going up. We're getting a lot of return viewers, but also new viewers who are actually watching long term more often. Um, so please, just the simple stuff. The subscription, just hit the subscribe button, watch the video, and share it. Leave a comment. Like I said, we try to get to everybody we can. We do have a lot of stuff planned this year. We have a lot of great interviews lined up, thanks to Chip reaching out and getting some of that stuff set up. So hopefully we get some guests that you guys want to see more of or hear from and everything like that. And just thank you guys for everything.
Yes, thank you for everything. Um, follow us on our follow us on all of our social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Um, leave us some questions there, send us some DMs. And as always, check out streamlabs.com/movement radio/merch. Go cop you some movement radio merch. And until next time, I am Chip Hazard,
And I'm Roger Sierra.
and
Uh,
this
I
is
was gonna
Movement
say
Radio.
that was Talon, but
Yeah.
uh,
uh, God's plan. Can't
yeah,
forget
there we
that.
go. Yeah.